Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you're watching me from. Thank you for joining me in this live lecture. My name is Dr. Bioramba Iboweze, reaching you from Nkolo Mahadum Wisdom University. At Wisdom University, we encourage you to always use your akonuche, your naturally given common sense to evaluate issues before you make a decision. We encourage you to go back to all our lectures. Today's lecture is the 67th lecture we have presented in this Nkolo Mahadum Wisdom University for you. All those lectures we are packaged for you so that you will understand the world we live in and find a way to make it better with your common sense called akonuche. Also, we present issues here from Biafran and African perspectives. And when we say Biafrans at Nkolo Mahadum Wisdom University, we mean everybody currently living in the former eastern region of Nigeria, and also people in Benue, Kogi, Southern Kaduna. These are Biafrans because you know your people from similar culture. People with similar cultures are the same people. We are one people. Today's date is Nkwo Market Day in the 8th month of the Igbo lunar calendar called Onwa Ilo Muo. And in the Roman Catholic calendar, today's date is September 26, 2024. And the title of our today's lecture is What Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Said at the last trial, which occurred on September 24th, 2024. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that the persecution of Biafrans in Nigeria and the world stops with him. Nnamdi Kanu said in the last court on the 24th of September that the persecution of Biafrans in Nigeria and the world stops with him. And what actually transpired on that court day, in the court that day, shows you that Nigeria government is living in denial, out of reality, and should discharge Nnamdi Kanu, discharge and release him unconditionally because he has committed no crime. And before we continue, we have to beg you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our program, comment, share it to everybody, because what we are teaching at Nkolo Mahadum is for everybody. It's to make you better. It's to make Africa better. It's to make Biafra better. It's to make the world better. And so make sure your children, everybody you know, is listening to all our lectures. And going forward, we want to give you a brief history of how Mazi Nnamdi Kanu got to where he is today. Remember, when the Nigerian security forces invaded his home to kill him, and they murdered 28 people, including Nnamdi Kanu's dog, Jack. And then Nnamdi Kanu and his father and mother were able to escape. And thereafter, Nnamdi Kanu appeared in Israel. And then Nnamdi Kanu has been doing his thing until on June 19, 2021, when he was rearrested in Kenya and then renditioned him to Nigeria on June 27th, 2021. So he was rearrested in Kenya, and then the Nigerian government did not follow the process in Kenya. And then they even drugged him and forced him into the Nigerian territory. And he's been going to court since then up to today. And on October 13th, 2022, the Nigerian Appeal Court discharged, acquitted, and released Nnamdi Kanu and said that no other court in Nigeria can try him. The Court of Appeal, in discharging him on October 13, 2022, make it explicitly clear, make it very clear that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should never be tried in any other court in Nigeria again. But you know the Nigerian thing, they failed to release him. Even their Supreme Court, the Nigerian Supreme Court also agreed with everything, that he has committed no crime. But what they failed to do is to agree with the appeal court that he should be released. They instead send him back to a lower court. Can you imagine, where a Supreme Court, which is the highest court of the land, has said that this man committed no crime, that the way he was renditioned was wrong, that he did not commit any crime. So, but instead of them to now say, now you are free to go, they, because of the Nigerian environment, said he should go to a lower court again. So that is where we have been. And Justice Binta Nyako had been on this case for many, many years. Since Nnamdi Kanu came back, he's been on the case. And he's been up and down, every day postponement, every day postponement. And also, remember that EFCC is charging the former governor of Adamawa State, who is the husband of Binta Nyako. His name is Motala Nyako, and his son, Abdulaziz, for money laundering. The federal government is after the husband of the judge, Binta Nyako, and his son for laundering about 29 billion naira when the husband was governor of Adamawa State. And so you can see that Binta Nyako is trying to save the husband and the son in that trial, using Nnamdi Kanu's trial. He's just in between Nnamdi Kanu and the husband and the son and the federal government. Because if he tends to rule, to give the correct rule to Nnamdi Kanu to release him, the federal government will then go after the husband and the wife and the son whom they have been pursuing for money laundering of about 29 billion naira. It is important we let you know what happened on the 24th of this month in the trial. Aloy Ejimako, who is the lead counsel, was insisting on that court day that the trial should not continue because he had not adequately prepared Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, as the DSS and Nigerian government has disobeyed court orders allowing them to prepare Nnamdi Kanu, because they have been alleging that the court was pre-wired and with camera, and they seized everything that they are coming into the DSS custody to to prepare Nnamdi Kanu. And the court has issued so many judgments saying that DSS should allow them to prepare Nnamdi Kanu, but that's not the case. And so, as Aloy Ejimakor was speaking, Mrs. Binta Nyako directed that a prosecution witness be called. She wanted the case to continue. While Aloy Ejimakor was saying that he is not ready for the case, that the case should be suspended. As Ejimakor was still speaking, this irritated Kanu, and Kanu got up, stood up from his seat, and ordered Ejimakor, sit down, Ejimakor. I say you should sit down. Then Ejimakor sat down, and then Kanu took the podium. And Kanu told Ms. Binta Nyako that he has no confidence in her court, that she should rescue. Rescue means withdraw, hands off the case. And Binta Nyako agreed. Do you know why she agreed? She agreed because this Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case has been a very big thorn on her flesh. She knows the truth. She knows that Nnamdi Kanu didn't commit any crime, but she didn't want to offend the federal government because of the fact that the federal government is pursuing the husband and the son for laundering about 29 billion naira. She was like, thank Maichi that Nnamdi Kanu have asked me to withdraw. And she quickly withdrew from the case. That's what happened at the last court date, plus other things, plus other statements made by Nnamdi Kanu. But the reason Nkoloma Hadum chose the one that says the persecution of Biafrans in Nigeria and the world stops with him is that a lot of our people don't know that we are being persecuted in Nigeria. That persecution follows so many forms. It follows the forms of military and police checkpoints in our land, the extortion that follows it, the harassment that follows it. Now, before you pass the police or military checkpoint with vehicle, they have to have all the passengers come down and raise their hand and trek over the checkpoint. Can you imagine that in our land? Isn't that persecution? That's what Nnamdi Kanu is referring to. The unemployment in our land. There's no federal industry. There's no big federal presence in our land. That's the persecution Nnamdi Kanu is talking about. In the hierarchy of things in Nigeria, in the current leadership, in the current system in Nigeria, an Igbo man is the sixth in the hierarchy of positions. That deputy speaker called Benjamin Kanu, he's number 6. So we are not number 1, we are not number 2, we are not number 3, we are not number 4. We are in the 6th. Isn't that persecution? Because a lot of us don't know, even that man, that Benjamin Kanu that's in the 6th position, is happy with it. Have you not heard him threatening the governor of Abia State, Governor Oti, that he will unseat him in 2027? Can you imagine that? He's even happy with that persecution that puts him in that position. Other persecutions going on, killing and arresting of our youths, imposition of leaders, like the one they imposed on Ohaneze and Hope Uzodimma on Imo State, in Imo State. Making our land unlivable, that make people to run away from our land. Those are the things Nnamdi Kanu is referring to as persecutions. Even those that have left Nigeria now, you are in the US, you are in London, You are in Australia, you are in South Africa, you are in Brazil, wherever you are outside the land of Biafra. It's this persecution that has made you to leave your land to other people's land. If not, all of us supposed to be in our land today. We can only visit maybe for one or 2 weeks, visit another place for 1 or 2 weeks, and come back to our land. So that's why Nkola Mahadum have taken this particular statement. You know, Nnamdi Kanu made a lot of statements that day. But we said to pick on this, to let you know, wherever you are living across the world, that it is persecution of our people, of you, that have made you to leave our land to foreign land. Those are what Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for. And he said that it will stop with him. Support him so that the persecution will stop. There are so many ways you can support. You can consult Nkola Mahadum, Wisdom University, to guide you on how to support. Support Nnamdi Kanu. Support him to stop this persecution of our people, both in our land and to stop us from running away from our land. And because we said that we have to be keeping things short in this university, we shall be bringing this lecture to an end. But before we end it, the takeaway from today's lecture is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has committed no crime, and the federal government of Nigeria should release him without conditions, because you cannot break a law and stand on that law that you break to try somebody else. It is wrong. It is wrong. And then Aloy Ejimako himself is asking the judge that he's not ready, they should postpone the case. You shouldn't be asking the judge to postpone the case again. There's nothing to try. There's nothing to try. What Nnamdi Kanu said is what you, Aloy Ejimako, should have been saying, that you don't have confidence in this courtroom again. You don't have confidence with Binta Nyako, that she should recuse herself. Aloy Ejimako should have been the one saying it, not Nnamdi Kanu, but because he failed to do his job. That was why Nnamdi Kanu got up in anger and told the judge that he is no longer confident in her court, that she should withdraw. And she did. And Nkola Mahadum is happy that she did. And now, the persecutions we are talking about, Nnamdi Kanu is talking about. If you're not seeing it, if you're an African and you're not seeing the persecutions, then you must be also out of touch with reality. Some of the persecutions in our land is a lot of military and police checkpoints everywhere, extorting our people, harassing our people. Now they have to make them to trek at checkpoints, to walk through the checkpoints. Pregnant women will be walking. Elderly men and women will be walking. And killing and arresting our youth in position of leaders, like in Ohaneze and in Imo State, Hope Uzodinma. And in the hierarchy of things, a Biafran is in the 6th position, the deputy speaker. We are not number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6th position. And even that man is happy and threatening Governor-elect Oti. People are running away from our land to foreign lands. Ethnic profiling. Once they stop a Biafran, they feel that you are this and that you are that. They start to insult you, to humiliate you, to harass you, to take you to the police station, to extort money from you. And if you are living outside, it is the same persecution that have made you to leave your land to foreign land. And you should support Nnamdi Kanu to stop this persecution on our people so that we can live our life and achieve what others are achieving in our own land and not foreign land. And with this, we shall be bringing today's lecture to an end. But before we do, we must ask you to please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our program, comment, share it to everybody, because the lecture is for everybody, so that Africa will be better. And finally, all Africans should come together to dismantle all the colonial boundaries in Africa. Because if we Africans cannot go to Europe and say, you are one country, you are one country, why should we allow what they did in the past to continue in the 21st century? It is these colonial boundaries that is causing all the hunger, all the poverty, all the killings, all the wars in our land. And with this, we shall be bringing today's lecture to an end. Thank you very much for joining me today. My name is Dr. Obioramba Ibobeze. I can't go on. Hey.